Did you crack open your bank account recently and find a fat stack of debt notes freshly conjured up from the Federal Reserve? Quite possible that you did because those stimulus digits are flowing. Let's take a moment to thank President Donald J. Trump for personally signing the checks and making all of this happen, going far beyond what Bernie Sanders ever imagined. You may have received $1,200 as an individual, $2,400 as a couple, and $500 for each of your kids. Now, if you're one of those with kids, this video is for you. We are going to talk about the number one investment you can make to teach your kids about saving money, teach your kids about passive income. We will provide a simple strategy that you can implement immediately to greatly increase the odds of your kids' financial success as they grow up. Let's get started. Why does savings and passive income matter? If you don't already have a reason to teach your kids these things, then I encourage you to do a web search for what percentage of the population has an emergency fund. You will find a number of articles, all of which say that roughly 28% or so of the population does not even have an emergency fund, can't last more than 2 weeks with the money that they have saved up, paycheck to paycheck. Those stats happened before the current economic situation that we're in. More recent article from Fool.com shows that roughly 50% of the population does not have savings that they expect to get them all the way through the time period that we are impacted and staying at home by this economic and health situation. So if you didn't already have a reason to teach your kids these things, that should be reason enough. When we're teaching kids about passive income, what is success? Well, success in this case is when kids are used to saving, when the idea of passive income and making money from your money is normal. It's part of the conversation. Also, the idea of getting a handout or getting allowance is not normal. And we want kids to make financial decisions and financial mistakes early on, so they don't need to learn that later. So that's why we're doing this video for you today. There's multiple ways to make money. There's wage income, business income, but today we are simply talking about passive income or making money from your money. There's lots of definitions for what passive income is out there that go into more depth about it, but we don't care because we're keeping it simple, nice and simple. Passive income is making money from your money. When I was working on this video, I was curious what percentage of the population has any kind of passive income. I got different results depending where I looked, but there's a few things that are clear. One is that most people make most of their money from wages. Two is that the earlier you get started making money from your money, the more likely it is that you will have passive income. There's an article from FinancialSamurai that I linked to in the comments below that has a lot of great content about passive income targets that you eventually want to reach. Facts are, most people feel trapped in their jobs. Most people have more than 90% of their money coming from wage income, coming from active income. Where you want to be is somewhere in that middle ground, that 50% or greater. As parents, one of the key things to do is eliminate the word allowance from your vocabulary. Stop paying allowance. Stop paying a static amount to your kids. When you're implementing the passive income strategy for kids, here's the prerequisites. One, your kids need the concept of private property. They need a place to store their money that is theirs. We have 3 of these offspring running around, getting in each other's space, and they need a place that is their own to save their money. Your kids will need that too. Your kids also need a way to take records, a way to record what they have and what they earn, and they need to make their own financial decisions. Now, as a parent, coming into this, you need a formula. You need to say, how much money am I going to give you every week based on how much money you have? We're going to show you the formula that we use in our family. You also need a schedule. You need to set expectations, what day of the week it is you do passive income or what day of the month or however you want to do it. We do it weekly on Sundays. The kids need to drive the process. Once you teach them what this is, you need to set the expectations that they're the ones that drive, they're the ones that move this forward. We do this with US dollars, so the formulas that we use for USD will need to be adapted depending where you are in the world. You can use this with any currency. You can even use this with real money, like, silver, Bitcoin, gold, if you want. Private property. The way we did this is with fingerprint safes. So go out to Amazon, do a quick search for fingerprint drawer safe, and you will find this safe here. This is the one that we used. I'll point to it down below in case you're curious. It works fantastic. Fingerprint, open, easy. So have multiple kids and they have their safe, then they will be very happy with that. Our kids chose to decorate them and personalize them so they knew whose was whose. Moving on to records. When you start out, you can start out with this today with a piece of paper where you write the date, the amount of money they have, the amount of money they earn, and the total. This is a snapshot back from 2018 with one of our kids getting started on this strategy. What's great about this strategy is you're letting your kids make their own decisions. They might choose to go spend money to buy a toy. Awesome, let them do it. They're gonna have less money, they're gonna make less money, and they're gonna start computing those trade-offs, those decisions at an early age. Also, they're gonna get scammed. What's awesome is one of my kids had a friend in school, and that friend said, hey, if you give me $5 today, I'll give you $20 tomorrow. So my daughter got money out of her safe, gave it to her friend. Pah, that $5 is gone. But what's great is she understands that that kind of thing happens now. She evaluates, hey, is this real or is this a scam? So that's an example of the kinds of things your kids can learn when you let them make their own financial decisions. Let's talk formula. We started out with something very simple where we take the amount of money that the kids have, divide it by 100. So if you have $100, you get $1. If you have $200, you get $2. And we maxed out the amount of money that they can make at their age. So if you're 8 years old, the most you could make is $8 a week. We realized that that didn't quite work as well as we wanted. So we ended up doubling the amount of money they get. And the formula that you see here is an Excel formula that allows you to implement what we believe is the optimal formula for this strategy. You can do this on paper or you can do it in Excel. Here's an Excel spreadsheet that's based off of the one that we're using currently, where you can set the current age of your kid. Here we're at 8, and you can see that the first time, if the kid has no money and you implement this strategy, they will receive 20 cents in the first increment. And then if you want to talk about the maximum, the value that we have here of $389 would result in $780 in income. And if you bump that up $1 to $390, that's $8. And then any amount above that, like say they have $3,900, they still make $8. So the goal that we're trying to achieve with our kids is to reach that max income level based on their age. They are not there yet. But you can see the way this looks playing out over a week-to-week period. And you will note that there's some weeks on this spreadsheet where there is a gap, where we missed doing passive income. And that's because we have our kids direct the process. If they don't remember to do it, they don't get passive income. I'm going to put a link down below to a spreadsheet that you can download based off of this and immediately implement this strategy with your kids. In terms of your kids driving the process, keep in mind, you want them to do the counting, do the recording, and if they're successful in that, they get paid. The younger ones, help them out a little bit more until they understand. But we started about 3 years old, and our oldest at this point is 9, and this is working really well, and they've learned a lot along the way. And one final note is, as a parent, there is an amazing tool that you can apply on top of this. That tool is fines. You can have a fine for your kid once they start to understand the value of their money. So if one of your kids needs some discipline, you can ask them, hey, if you keep doing that, how much do you think I should fine you? And we'll get no negotiation. Our kid might say, I think about 25 cents. And I'll be like, that sounds about right. Let's do that. Works really well. Cool for the parent bag of tricks. So today we learned about teaching kids about passive income by removing the word allowance from your vocabulary, enabling your kids to make their own financial decisions, basing the amount of money that they receive from you on the amount of money that they have saved. We are Restorative Capitalism. We are a new channel. Our target right now is to get more than 100 subscribers. If we do that, it opens up more options for us in YouTube. So please go ahead, hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Capitalism. Hitting the like button would be awesome because it would help others find this video and make it more discoverable. Thank you for your time.